Ready? As everything's falling.
That was fun. I'm Katrina Rasbold. This is Shannon McLaren
Hi.
from the Healing Tree, and I'm from Crossroads Occult, where the Healing Tree lives. And Shannon is our expert, our in-house expert, and our expert at large on all things Psychic 101, as well as our departed soul healer. She's a fantastic medium. She also, I'm more of an extra large. But she's a medium,
Yeah.
and very, very talented. And she's also a fantastic tarot card reader. We're just going to read off your resume here.
Right.
And she's a fantastic numerologist and does wonderful healer. She does aura cleansings, and she does core wound healings, and she is our Reiki master teacher as well. So she's going to be talking to us today about basically an empath survival guide, how to live out there in the world as an empath. And really, there's a lot of us that are empathic and don't know it. Is that right?
Yeah.
So take it away, Shannon.
Very much. And so being an empath is different than being empathic, being having empathy, because you can feel sorry for somebody who just lost their father. If you're an empath, you'll start to cry because
you're grieving.
You feel their grief. When I am watching shows on TV, like a reality show especially, and somebody starts to cry, like I'll start to tear up and you'll see me go, ugh, because I'm trying to block the energy of what's coming at me. So it's different. You feel other people's feelings. And if you don't know what's happening, it's very, very frustrating, and it can really wreak havoc on your life because you don't know what's going on. So and there's, I mean, if you want to Google "Am I empath?" you'll find lots and lots of tests. If you want to come into the shop, I'll give you the test that I made. I don't know how to show that on here, but so being an empath is really, what I say is that you have special needs, because there are special ways that you can deal with this, because not everybody is feeling everybody else's emotions. I suppose that if that happened, we'd have a kinder world.
I think that's true. I really find that as an empath, it's really hard to fight with your spouse. That's just brutal. I mean, it's hard to fight with your spouse anyway.
Right.
But when you're empathic, you have to deal with your emotions and their
emotions.
too.
Yeah, because you can feel what they're feeling, but at the same time, you are able better to connect with people, and you can actually stop the fight a lot faster because you know exactly what they're feeling.
You're kind of a step ahead.
Yeah, you're a step ahead, because you know what the feeling is, because you can feel it. Well, I know that what you're feeling right now is that you're really hurt, but what I'm like, you're talking about something that I'm not talking about, because I can feel how you're feeling, so I know what you're upset about, but I'm upset about this thing over here. And then you can have, that opens up more dialogue.
That's true. That's so true.
Yeah.
And what would you say is the biggest challenge, though, of an empath?
The biggest challenge of the empath is being aware of whose emotions are whose.
That's tough. That is
very, very
really hard. You're right. You're right.
And I mean, there's tools that you can, that I have, that you can push out your energy, and so you can see what you're left with. But you have to be aware that you might not be feeling your feelings before you can take the steps to ground yourself or push away energy. And that is the hardest thing to do. I mean, like, I know all about this. I know all about grounding and shielding and all of these things. And there's times that I'm like, wow, I just feel really bad. And like, I don't really understand this. And I'm like, oh, perhaps this isn't my energy. And, but it's not something that I automatically know. I mean, because you're just cruising through life, doing your thing. And all of a sudden I'm really depressed, and I wasn't depressed a little bit ago. And what happened? And it's natural to stop and go, well, why am I feeling this way? What is it about me? Instead of saying, oh, it's all your fault.
Right. So if you're a person that is, I know most people I know who are empathic have always been this way. And if you're a person who's always been empathic, but you didn't have a label for it, and you just feel all the feels, what's the best way, or are there any techniques to figure out what are your organic feelings? What belongs to you and what doesn't belong to you?
It's the So if you imagine that there's a ball of light at your solar plexus,
Mm-hmm.
and you push that out with the intent of, you make the ball bigger so it surrounds you, and while you're doing that, you're pushing out everything that is not yours. And so up, down, front, back, all the sides. After you push that out, you take a deep breath and you're like, okay, how do I feel? If I'm still feeling the same way, that's mine.
Got it. Okay.
If it's not, if I suddenly am like, oh, I'm really kind of chilled out and peaceful, that's not how I feel. Not yours. And it takes some effort to and some time to figure out how to do that. If you have challenges with visualization, that makes it a little bit harder. But there's other ways that you can do it. So if you imagine that you're standing underneath an energetic waterfall, so you just step through a waterfall that is like an energetic wash, and then when you step to the other side of it, you're clean. So sometimes that's easier to imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do that and you come to the other side and you're like, I still feel all of this, then it's you.
Right,
But it's amazing. Empaths don't realize how much input they get from everybody else.
That's so true. And sometimes if it is somebody who's challenged in visualizing, which that's a whole other video altogether that we can get into.
Yeah.
But it helps to have props. So if you're telling somebody, just imagine that you're in an energetic waterfall. Have them actually go take a shower.
That's actually one of the things that you can actually do. Because you know how you just feel you've got warm water, you're feeling safe, and it's just cleaning you. And so if you step into the shower and say, okay, this is not only going to clean my physical body, but it's going to clean my energetic body as well, you feel different.
I agree. So how does meditation come into this as far as identifying your own thoughts and all of that?
So everybody harps on meditation, and I'm not any different. If you have a regular routine of meditating, and you know what you feel like when you're meditating, and you're calm and you're centered and all of that, I know how Shannon feels. So when I'm off cruising around in the world, and all of a sudden I've got these emotions that I haven't felt those since I was a teenager. What is this? That's not going to be me. I know how I feel. So, but like I said, you're cruising around through life. Sometimes it's hard to realize what that is. But the more you know your own energy, you know how you feel, the easier it is to say, that's not mine. What is this? And so then you can go through and protect yourself or push it out.
What I've found is really helpful too, and if people are not local, then there's other folks that can do this, but I know that you do it exceptionally well. If I get overwhelmed with the world, it really helps me to come get a cleaning from you, because you're really good at just pulling all that mess off. And by the time you're done, I feel like me again.
Yes.
So an aura cleaning.
Or an aura cleaning. And if you can't get to somebody, then there's other things that you can do.
Well, and we both do it by remote too.
Yes. Well, absolutely. Duh. I forget what I can do.
So you could just contact you and I could get a remote aura cleaning and get back to who we are.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite things about the aura healing is that people are like, wow, everything looks cleaner. It's like
putting on a pair of glasses for the first time. It's really clarifying.
I was just saying to somebody else, they were saying, well, I'm not really sure if I need that. And I said, look outside. Does that look HD to you, or does it look kind of dull?
And it's because your aura, when it's funky, you can see through like a film. Yeah. And so when it gets clean, you can see better.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So if you had to give empaths the 5 biggest survival tools, I mean, just that's an arbitrary number. You can pick a different number if you want to.
I'll do 5.
Do 5. Yeah. What are the biggest survival tools to really have a fantastic quality of life as an empath? And the reason I'm asking this is, in my healing practice, most of the people I have coming in feeling like they're broken, they're cursed, there's something wrong with them, is because they're empathic and they're carrying the weight of everybody on them. So what are the 5 best tools for managing
the first one is to verify that you are indeed an empath. And there's lots of tests out there online. There's lots of books. I can actually, I'm going to put this up on my website. You can go down. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, it's up on my website, which is sacramentohealingtree.com. So hopefully there'll be a link up there. And you can download the test and check it off. Do you hit just a couple of those? Do you hit all of them? If you hit all of them, congratulations, you're an empath. I think congratulations. There are good sides. There are good sides to it too. So one, identify, because if you don't know, then you don't know. So know what you are. Also understand that you have special needs, that you are different than other people, and you are going to need to have extra self-care. And the self-care are the other tips, in that you are going to need to be alone, not just alone in your room while everybody else is in the house, alone, because you can still feel everybody else in the house.
Oh, sure.
So even if you go to the park, you don't want to go be alone around a bunch of other people, because you're going to feel that, because you need to go be alone so that you can recharge. You can be like, and you can relax, because if you're feeling everybody else's feelings, you're not relaxing. So that's the other thing. Meditation is extremely important, because you need to know who you are.
So true. So true.
Yeah. So, and then you need to know some shielding techniques. So like the bubble is one of them, that you can push energy away from you out. Let's see, what would be another one? Grounding, so that you can ground out the energy that you're feeling, so you can get it out of you.
So for those that don't know, how would you do that?
So the easiest way is earthing, and that's taking off your socks and your shoes and walking out on the grass. There's lots and lots of scientific, lost the word.
Research.
That's the word. It starts with R. Yeah. So, lots of research about how it helps reduce your blood pressure, the electrons, and all kinds of stuff. So walking outside without your socks and shoes on, very hard to do in winter because it's very cold. Go hug a tree. There's visualizations about grounding and all of that. That's kind of hard to teach on a quick little video.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah. So that's what I would say is those are kind of the important things. The other thing that I would like to also add is that as empaths, if you don't know how to ground out this energy, you're going to go to food to
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah.
So you're so true.
Because like after you go to a sweat lodge, there's food. After you do a ritual, there's always food to help you kind of ground yourself.
Get back in your body.
Yeah. So when you're an empath and you've got all this other energy around you, you instinctively reach for food.
You want to put that energy somewhere,
right?
And it's easy for you to get it to go into food.
And food will ground you.
Yeah.
And but what happens is then you eat a lot of food. So
because you're not managing your energy.
Well, and you know,
their energy.
It's just so extremely common, and honestly, most empaths struggle with weight because
interesting.
And the reason why I think this is because we learned coping mechanisms of using food to deal with the emotions that we were trying to get rid of, or
that weren't even ours.
And so we have these unhealthy coping mechanisms that once you figure out you're an empath, then you need to learn how to undo.
We probably learned that pretty early on.
Oh
actually.
Yeah. Well, because you don't learn how to be empathic.
No.
You are or you aren't.
Truth.
Yeah. Truth. So you've been this way your whole life.
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you. And also, folks, there's going to be several other installments to this video, not today, but eventually, as we talk more and more about managing the empathic curse or blessing, whatever you want to call it.
So you know what, I do want to say that there is some good things about being empathic.
Tell us a couple of those real quick.
You know what? You're going to know when people are lying to you.
Oh, boy.
I love that one. That is my favorite part because, and you don't always have to say, you're a liar, but you just kind of go, really? That's very interesting. And you know all along that you're being lied to. And you just go on, okay, thanks for telling me that you're going to lie to me about stuff. The other thing is that you can make other people be truly seen, feel truly seen. And that is a huge gift. Right. When you can talk to somebody and they just know that I know how you're feeling. I know how this feels. And when that happens, it's just such a gift.
That's true.
The other thing about empaths is that your highs are even higher. So you can feel really, really, really good.
I like that.
Sometimes your lows are kind of low, but we're not talking about that. So
empaths are also really great at both undergoing and conducting job interviews.
Yes.
Job interviews, that's fantastic.
You will
get that job if you're an empath.
Well, because you know exactly what they're feeling, and if you don't get the job, you're going to know you didn't get the job before you even leave.
Yeah.
So there's no question of, gosh, did they like me? You'll know.
No, they'll know.
You know.
They'll
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yep. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Subscribe. Thursday nights, join us for our What's Up Witches. That's our broadcast every Thursday night, except holidays. We don't do holidays.
No, we don't do
we're
holidays.
We're holidaying. We don't even do day after Christmas because we're holidaying. We're
holidaying.
passed out.
Yeah.
Plus, day after Christmas in England is a holiday. It's Boxing Day.
That is like the best day to go shopping.
Right?
I mean, like it's kind of overwhelming because a lot of people, but the deals are pretty good.
True. And if you're empathic, don't go.
Yeah,
don't go.
If you're empathic,
don't go.
Yeah.
But What's Up Witches, pretty much every Thursday night, we either have a conversation like this that's even longer, or we do tarot readings for you, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you're going to want to go to sacramentohealingtree.com to find out more about my girl Shannon. You're going to want to go to crossroadsoccult.com to find out more about what we're doing here at the Crossroads, because this is where all the magic happens.
Yes,
and she and I, man, we're pulling that wagon. We are the ones steering that.
We're like the chariot.
Comes to we are the two horses out in front. Yeah.
We're also goofy.
Yeah, we are. Oh gosh, that part doesn't start.
Yeah.
Stop. And let me tell you too that for those of you who might wonder, we are like this when we're not filming.
We are. This is just who we are.
This is our world. This is what we do. And welcome to it. So subscribe to Shannon's channel, to the Sacramento Healing Tree, and you're going to see a lot more stuff like this coming up. So we're excited.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. We're like the Beverly Hillbillies waving at the end. Y'all come back.